Sometimes the most profound wisdom, the stuff that really sticks with you, doesn't come from some dense, complicated book. Nope. It comes from a single, simple idea, one that kind of flips everything we think we know on its head. Today, we're going to dive into one of those ideas, a short quote that challenges a feeling, an impulse that almost all of us have every single day. So let me just start by asking you this straight up. In a conversation, in a disagreement, just in life, what's more important? Just think about that for a second. Because I think our default answer, the one we jump to, might not be the one that actually helps us the most. The real choice, a lot of the time, boils down to this. It almost always comes down to this choice, doesn't it? The need to be right versus the choice to be kind. One is that little jolt you get from winning an argument, from proving your point. And let's be honest, it feels good. But the other? The other is about connection, about making sure a relationship is still standing at the end of the day. And here's the kicker. So often, we can't have both at the exact same time. And that brings us to the piece of wisdom we're going to unpack today. This one thought gives us such a powerful way to think about how we talk to each other. It doesn't just give us a suggestion, it gives us the reason why one path might be so much more valuable than the other. Okay, so let's jump right into the quote's biggest, boldest claim. The part that really challenges us. Just let that sink in for a minute. To be kind is more important than to be right. I mean, in a world that practically gives out gold medals for quick comebacks, for winning debates, for just being factually correct, that statement is kind of radical, isn't it? It forces us to ask, what's the goal here? Is the point of this conversation to win, or is it to connect? And you can really see the difference when you break down where these two things come from. That drive to be right, a lot of the time, that's the ego talking. It's all about debate, about proving a point, about me. But choosing to be kind, well, that comes from a totally different place. That's driven by empathy, it's focused on connection, on trying to genuinely understand where the other person is coming from. So why? Why is kindness more important? Well, the quote doesn't just leave us hanging, it explains its logic. And it starts by telling us what we don't always need. Now, this part is so critical. It's not a knock on intelligence. Of course, having an intelligent mind is a good thing. The most important words here are always speaks. It's talking about that compulsion, the need to constantly talk, to correct, to jump in, to have the last word. So what does that feel like? You know the feeling, right? It's that voice in your head that's just analyzing, arguing, waiting for the other person to take a breath so you can jump in with your brilliant counterpoint. It's the part of us that listens to find the flaws in what someone's saying, not to find the truth in it. And again, it's not a bad thing, but man, it can easily get in the way of something much more important. So if the always speaking mind isn't the answer, then what is? What's the alternative? This is where the quote gives us the solution. I absolutely love the wording here. Did you catch that shift? It goes from this general, we do not need, to this very specific, very personal, sometimes we all need. It gets right to the heart of our shared human experience. At some point, every single one of us, me, you, everyone, just needs to feel heard. Not debated, not fixed, just heard. This is the perfect counterpart. If the speaking mind is all about output, putting things out there, the patient heart is all about input. It's about creating a safe space for somebody else. It listens to connect, not to formulate a reply. And notice that key word, patient. This isn't just being quiet. It's an active, compassionate choice to just wait and to understand. Okay, so this is all beautiful philosophy, right? But how do we actually use this in our real, messy, everyday lives? How do we make this shift when we're in the heat of the moment? Well, it starts right here, by understanding this one thing. True kindness isn't just about being nice, it's an action. And one of the most powerful actions of kindness you can ever take is to just listen. When you offer someone a patient heart, you are doing something profound, something that often means way more than any advice you could ever give. So you can actually turn this into a little mental exercise. Step 1. Just recognize that feeling, that itch you get to jump in and correct someone. Step 2, and this is the hardest part for most of us, just pause. Take one breath before you speak. Then, step 3 is a conscious choice. You decide, my goal here is to understand, not to win. And finally, you just listen, really listen.
And let's be super clear about something. This is not about being a doormat. It's not about abandoning what you believe or agreeing with things you know are wrong. No way. It's about making a judgment call in the moment. With this person right now, what's more important? Winning this little point or preserving this big relationship? It's about prioritizing connection over correction.
So there it is, all back together again. When you see it like this, it's not just a nice saying, is it? It's a whole roadmap for how to have better, more compassionate conversations. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Just think about your life right now. Your partner, your kids, your friends at work. Who is it? Who in your life right now doesn't need your intelligent mind, but desperately